Howdy. How's everybody doing? We're here with...
What? Child. Anyway, so...
What's up, y'all? It's Brianna and A coming back with another video. And today, we have Joshua. Everybody give him a round of applause. This is my lovely husband. He will be here with me for the whole entire month of October as we celebrate our anniversary. Yes, the entire month we will be celebrating. So today he is here. We are going to talk about our love story for those of you who know us, who may not know, or those of you who don't know us and would like to know. Yeah, we're just gonna talk about our love story.
Guy meets girl in relationship, so guy goes and gets in relationship. Girl gets out of relationship, so guy ends relationship to talk to girl. They
You did not end no Yo, don't be lying. Don't be lying on here.
Anyway.
So we met through a mutual friend. Apparently him and Kayla, the mutual friend is Kayla, my best friend, my girl, my boo thing.
She is very gorgeous to me.
You guys had a class together at HCC. That's how you guys met. I think she had invited him to play a couple times at her church for the youth conference that they have there. And she also had invited me to sing at the youth conference. And that was like our initial time seeing each other. But honestly, I don't really remember. Like, we didn't even talk to each other. It was just like we were around.
Yeah, I feel like
we were orbiting each other.
I was doing so much at that youth conference. Like, thinking about it again, it's like I was playing and I also was doing photography.
Oh yeah, you did.
So it was like all over the place. So,
yeah.
So
from that like initial, well, I guess because Kayla had kind of like put you on in like the Harford County music scene, I started seeing him a lot more at Erica's Music for Life, Sip and Jam. I saw him there. We did this concert Motown where he played and I sang, and yeah, so we just kept on. We were just in the same circles and the same spaces. And then I wasn't invited. I kind of invited myself. Well, actually, I wasn't invited by you. Kayla invited me to your birthday party. And I really didn't want to go because I wasn't invited. Like, he don't know me. But I went anyway.
Cause
it was something to do. But also, I did have a crush on him. Like, I did have like a little. I had a little crush on him.
Show.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I did have a little crush on him, but I'm known to have like crushes on people. Like, even if I'm in a relationship. Yes, I was like physically attracted to you. Anyway, so yes, I went to his birthday party and I wasn't stalking you. I just went because it was something to do. And that's where I also met David, which is crazy. At your birthday party, that was my first time meeting him. And after the like party at the bowling alley, we went out to eat. It was me, you, Kayla, Myra, David, and your interest at the time. And I feel like I did a lot of talking at the Denny's. I did a lot of talking. I still hadn't heard him say like any words. Like, he was just very quiet and
over there chilling.
He was real quiet.
Over there chilling.
I was like, man, this man, he would not be able to handle me because you were really quiet.
Going back to when I like first kind of seen you, like I was attracted to you too. I'm not gonna lie. It just was a situation where you were in a relationship, so I was like, I'm gonna just keep my distance, play whatever role like is there. Like if there was a friendship or if it was just a acquaintanceship role, that was where I was gonna be. But also I just ended up like talking to somebody else and that ended up developing into something. So then it's like I found myself in a space where I was over here, you were over there, and it was just like, oh yeah, she cool peoples, like
she cool peoples.
And so it was like I guess when you had got out of your relationship, I was already out of what I was doing. So I was like not looking or anything like that. Like I said, I was kind of just playing the role or whatever. So it was after the show and we all rolled together, and her best friend was there. She was basically like, I guess I was asking her like Valentine's Day or something like that, and she was like, well, the time is to like, if there was a time where the person you might have asked was unavailable, that time no longer exists. So, you know, basically she just threw the alley-oop up like Chris Paul, and I just
Alley-oop and Jordan.
Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, and thing. So jumped in the DMs like the next morning.
The next morning? No way.
I don't know. Was it the next morning?
I don't think it was.
I feel like it was definitely the next morning. Like, yeah, it had to be because it was snowing on the way back. And
so maybe then it was because I do remember it snowed. I remember that we were both snowed in at our homes, and
it was nothing to do. So.
And it was nothing to do. So he slid in the Snapchat DMs, and it wasn't even really like you didn't shoot your shot or anything. It was just very like
I'm cool.
Very like regular conversation.
That was literally the first time my name ever popped up on your phone.
Probably,
DM wise.
Definitely.
And it was like, okay, let's just see where it goes.
See if she even responds.
Nah, I didn't even respond.
You know it's gonna respond?
He was gonna respond.
How you know?
He's just coming out of something. And I was like the good guy. So it's not like I was some jerk. And you seem like a nice person, so I kind of expected a response. If you had curved me, then that would have been like more surprising than you actually responded.
Would you have kept trying?
Nah, that's a good question. I don't even know. If you had curved me, I don't even know where I was mentally at that point. But that's a good question.
Yeah, he slid in Snapchat DMs, and did we actually have a date before Valentine's Day? I don't think so. Or did we?
What was Valentine's Day?
Valentine's Day was when you sent me the flowers and stuff.
You saying do we go out before that? Probably. How would I know where you live?
Kayla, you know Kayla.
I'm not texting everywhere you live.
But I thought you did text her.
No.
For the address.
No.
I need some confirmations down in the comments below, Kayla. Did he text you and ask for our address?
I'm pretty sure it was. I'm pretty sure I sent like the flowers. Like I sent flowers and stuff for Valentine's Day, and I only would have known the address because we went out before then. I'm pretty sure.
Well, anyway, I guess we had a first date, which was crazy because if anybody knows me, they know that I like to eat. And I had my heart set on this place. I can't remember. It was like a soul food place in Aberdeen, right?
It was soul food. It was Caribbean. I mean, like Caribbean food.
Island Spice?
No, it was that one little spot that was across from Spasudia.
No, that used to be a soul food place.
It was Caribbean.
No, I'm for sure.
Mad people got oxtails there. That was literally why people went.
No. It's Caribbean now. Anyway, listen, there was this place I really wanted to eat at, and I'm pretty sure it was a soul food place. It was in Aberdeen, but they were closed. And I was upset. And that is something that's very consistent about me. If I have my heart set on something that I want to try or eat, and they don't have it, or the place is closed, you know I'd be upset. Like, I don't even think there's another option. Like, this was my only option. I am going to starve for the rest of the day.
He's very one-track minded, and that's one of the lower qualities. But
anyway,
you grow.
So we went to Panera, and I do not even really like Panera, but we went. And did I even get a meal, or did I just get that apple?
It was just like a Monday midday. Like it wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't like a date. It wasn't like a get dressed up. I'm gonna take you out to dinner. It was kind of like, hey, what you doing? You're off work. Oh yeah, let's go grab something to eat. So I really don't remember ordering anything. I do remember I had an apple because you always comment on how I was smacking on the apple.
No, it was going crazy. I was like, why you ain't? First of all, she didn't get any food, and I was like,
because I don't really like Panera like that.
Hey, okay.
Would you rather me have wasted your money?
And I'm just saying, you be smacking Panera any other day.
I don't like it like that.
You be
And at the time, no, I didn't want Panera because I wanted some soul food. Anyway, so we went to Panera and it was cool. I feel like I did I do a lot of talking?
5-star review, obviously.
Their apples are good and their bread is good, but I didn't want no bread.
Yeah, 5-star review.
Anyway, I feel like I did a lot of talking. At least I wasn't one of those girls who'd be afraid to eat in front of their dates.
So what are you interested in? Like, what are your hobbies? I don't know.
No.
No. I like The Wiz.
No.
And I like Disney movies.
At least, first of all, I know I was not eating the apple like that. But at least I wasn't one of them girls who's afraid to eat in front of like people. I felt like I did a lot of talking at that first date, and he didn't do barely any talking, which still.
I was asking the questions.
You was asking questions, but I was.
You weren't asking the questions.
So.
If you're the person answering the questions, I'm obviously gonna talk more.
But you could still interject, like, "Oh, that's cool. Well, you know, So what do you do?"
I kind of was leading the questions.
Anyway, the date was cool. It was whatever. I left hungry, and the next time I kind of like not heard from you because I'm sure we were talking after that, but you did send me some flowers and some berries to the house, which was really, really sweet. Like, I was way caught off guard by it. Was not expecting him to do it. All of my friends was waiting just to see, like, well, who are these from? Because I did not even think they were from him. I was like, who the heck sent these to my house? Like, that's weird. But yeah, that was really sweet. And we kind of moved our way into a relationship eventually. So
yeah, when we got into a relationship, I feel like, I don't even know, I feel like the definition and parameters of a relationship have like changed throughout the years with us. So it's like, looking back on it now, was it a relationship or was it just like a fling? We were there for each other in a lot of spaces, so it's like it definitely had that dynamic, but it also really didn't have any depth. I feel like that's eventually what kind of led us to where we broke up. It's like I was kind of finding who I was, and like I was trying to figure out, I guess, where I wanted to be in life, and it just, because there wasn't like any depth, it was very easy to pick out like little things about you or about us that I didn't like and kind of hyper focus on those things.
But you know, I look back in our Snapchat, which is really crazy, and there was this one thing that you said that I feel like you harped on a lot. And when I hear you say like we were just a fling, in my mind I'm like, well, maybe I don't want to say that I thought that way back in the day, but I guess looking back on it and like how I felt and stuff like that, and like how vulnerable I was or was not with you, it could have been classified as a fling. But you had basically asked me this question of like, if you would have never asked what we were, would I have asked you? And I told you no. And you were really upset about it. And out of the previous relationship that I had been in for so long, it was like maybe I wasn't looking for anything serious at the time.
Right. And that's kind of what it was, kind of my battle as well. It's like dealing with that situation like you were coming out of. It's like you had like these walls and barriers up, and I felt like maybe there was like two different approaches to it. It's like, yo, ignore the walls, enjoy where you are right now. And then there was also like, tear them walls down. Like,
I've been banging on these walls for 2 years.
Right.
When you gonna let them down?
Right. So it was that all of that led to kind of like frustration and kind of insecurity and everything like that. And that's where my thought process was when we broke up. And I was just looking for like deeper connection, and looking for love all the wrong places, stuff like that. So we just went our separate ways, and It provided a lot of perspective for me as far as like what I wanted, and then also like what we were and what we had the potential to be if it actually was to take that serious deep dive into each other and like the seriousness of relationship and like Christian dating. Like Christian dating is a lot different from just dating. And like I said, we might have been in just a fling, and when you put God into it, when you put like your faith into it, it has like a different focus and a different approach to it. And that's kind of the energy I came back to her with. And so it was like a 5 months, maybe 6 months. So from September to February, whatever math class, you know, public school, private school, so whatever math you want to do.
We ain't gonna talk about the time we were apart.
But anyway, so we came back together, and I was like very, very, very serious, and I think it kind of like was alarming to you.
Very. It was like, I think because of the way that things had ended with us, like I feel like you weren't very.
I just didn't know how to put it in words.
Yeah,
like
so
I knew
you
exactly how I felt, but the words that I was using probably sounded really stupid. And when
it sounded really stupid, and you kind of like had me all over the place. Like I was trying to like put things together. Like I don't understand. I was just like, I don't understand. So when you came back with that energy, I was looking at you like, who are you?
Wait a minute. Who are you?
Like, now you got all the answers, and now you feel like you want to be with me. Like, nah, that ain't gonna fly. It ain't gonna fly over here, homie. I'm sorry.
a man who sleeps on the floor
exactly
can never fall.
Exactly. Came back very much. What Brother Sunflower? What was his name?
It's gonna keep rising, Naughty Rubber.
So of course, me being me, them walls that he wanted to break down before, now I done added like 2-3 more layers on the top because no sir, I don't trust you anymore. But eventually they kind of came down, and there were certain things that he did and didn't do that made me realize like, okay, he's really serious about this. He's really serious about what he wants for his future and where he sees us going. And so yeah, eventually I just had to, you know, release, let down some of those walls, kind of put my trust in you, put my trust in God. Like, Lord, if this is what you have for me, then I'm gonna have to jump in, both feet, just, you know. So we got back together, and you introduced the idea of going to marriage counseling, which I was against. I was like, no, sir.
My perspective, like I said, I came back with a whole different energy. So my perspective was like, if we're gonna do this, like we're gonna go to counseling, we're gonna get in depth, we're gonna dive deep into who we are in Christ, what marriage looks like as a Christian, what marriage is like under God. And if we can make it through this, then we go ahead, we get married. If we can't, then like enjoy your life, I'm gonna enjoy mine.
Which is so crazy because that's not what I perceive. Like, going to marriage counseling in my mind is like, we are going into marriage counseling with the notion that we're going to get married afterwards. Whereas you were like, well,
idea,
if we make it through, then
I guess my point is like, the idea is most people get engaged, then they do marriage counseling, then they get married. Like, that's the steps, I guess. And then you might have counseling if something happens in your marriage or whatever, right? So like,
which I feel like you can still have counseling whether something happens in your marriage or
oh yeah,
not.
you can definitely talk, period. But I was saying that's the normal flow of events for people, and I'm like, I'm an abnormal person, and I think even like just meeting each other for the first time and starting to get into like the talking phase, you could tell that I was abnormal. So some things shouldn't surprise you that much. But regardless, that was my approach. Is like, okay, people get engaged, and then it looks crazy because they're like, no, broke off my engagement. because we couldn't get through counseling. I broke off my engagement because this wedding process is too much or whatever. So it's like I've seen people and knew people that had got engaged, and I'm like, it was mad embarrassing. Like, you went out here and spent money on a ring, and the whole family's excited for you. They post pictures all over the internet, and everybody's so happy. And then 2 months later, nothing to show for it. So it was like people don't have the real perspective of what marriage is. It's like I have what I've known and what I've studied and what was taught to me and my examples as my parents and everything like that. But I wanted to know what it looked like for me and you, and like what it looked like specifically for, you know, me. Like not trying to be like this person, not trying to be like that person, not trying to be like this TV couple or anything like that. Like, what is me? What does Brianna and Joshua Stone look like?
Whereas me, like he said, in my mind, I'm like engagement, marriage counseling, married. So when he said marriage counseling, I'm like, for what? Why are we going to that? That doesn't make any sense. I
didn't think it was. I'm gonna cut you off, but like even the guy that did our counseling, J.C. Williams.
Yeah, he did say it was
he said it was abnormal, but he was like, oh, it makes sense.
Yeah.
He was like, that makes sense. More people should do this. But then like the first question he asked, he was like, are you guys engaged? And I'm like, no. And he was like, oh.
Interesting.
Like, oh,
Interesting. It's hard for me to say yes because, like I say, I didn't know if he was serious, but also didn't know how ready I was for marriage because I still was going in it with the mindset like we're getting married after this. Whereas like you said, you was going in with it, we gonna make it through this and see what happens afterwards. Like, so that's why I was like, no. Every time he bring it up, no, we're not going. No, not doing it. No.
We didn't go to my pastor and we didn't go to her pastor. We were at different churches at the time, so it was like one of my things was making sure we found like middle ground, like somebody who doesn't know the situation as well, and so situation as well.
And not even that, we both, the churches that we were going to, we grew up in those churches, so it was like our pastors knew us from when we were children to our adulthood, and I was just like, I want to go to somebody who just knows where we are right now in our lives. So I was I for sure, I don't know how adamant you were, but I was for sure like, we need to find somebody who don't know us. But yeah, so we went to counseling. As you can see, we've made it out. We made it out. I got a ring in the middle of counseling. Actually, I got a ring in the middle of counseling. He took me to the Baltimore Zoo in July. I know I was being a brat the day that he was going to engage. I'm so surprised he still went through with it because, bruh, look, I'm put this picture up for y'all so you can see my face. This was when we arrived to the zoo. This was the type time I was on. I don't know why I even had attitude. It was hot. I couldn't fit any of my clothes because at that time I was gaining that weight. I was gaining weight. It was crazy. It's crazy. But here we are. Here we are today.
And that's our story, y'all. So if you want to share your story, make a video. We'll tag us in it. We'll be loving to hear other couples, their relationship stories, because we know love is a journey.
Definitely.
And can't do it without God. So if you got some interesting testimonies or interesting stories, we'd love to hear those.
Guys, thank you so much for watching our video. I'd love to see you guys' love stories, so tag us in them. Maybe we can feature you in the Being magazine. And until next time, bye.
That's all I had to say. Until next time, bye.